Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our APTA Flash Action Strategy kickoff event for 2025. This is our 12th year of this great event where over the next 2 days, thousands of APTA students will be taking action on behalf of a very important issue that we're going to be discussing later today. It's a great way to get involved in advocacy. You are the future of the profession. And when we take collective action together, we're able to move the needle on these important issues. And over the past 12 years, we've had over 90,000 letters sent to Congress from APTA students. So we're hoping that our goal this year is to get 5,000 letters to Congress. And we think that you all can do it. And we're happy to provide you all the tools. We have some letters up on our Patient Action Center that you can take action on this issue. We're going to be focusing on the SAFE Act. It's our falls prevention bill. And you'll be hearing from our great group of speakers here more about this bill and the impact that it will have on people and the nation. And APTA Flash Action Strategy started, again, 12 years ago to get students together, to take action, to show people that it doesn't take that much effort or time to be an effective advocate. And when we raise our voices together, we're able to show Congress how important physical therapy is and how these issues and these bills will impact the people and patients that we serve. So without further ado, I look forward to working with you all over the next couple of days and seeing the excellent action that you're going to be doing. I also want to mention that we do have a couple other APTA student advocacy programs available throughout the year. We have our year-long competition called the APTA Student Advocacy Challenge, which is a competition among PT and PTA programs to do different advocacy activities. On our webpage, we have a menu of items that you can select from for different points ranges and submit that for credit. And you can compete against other schools. And I want to say Flash Action Strategy is its own category. It's a very special event. And when you take action, it's 10 points for your action. So be sure to log that on our student advocacy webpage. And in our springtime offering is our APTA National Advocacy Dinner. And that's where programs get together to talk about advocacy, make a plan to be an advocate throughout your career, and learn about the work that we do. A big thing about Flash Action Strategy is that we want programs to get together and take action together. So if you are watching us from your program anywhere in the country, we have resources available on our Flash Action Strategy website, including social media graphics, posts. We have a sample PowerPoint that you can give to your program with the template script. We also recorded that PowerPoint so that you're able to show that to your program if it's virtual or if you don't have enough time in class to give that program. So the resources are available for you. We'll be sending all the students emails tomorrow with links to take action. We'll be posting our links to take action on our social media sites tomorrow. And we are so excited. And this is always such a fantastic energy for everyone. And we look forward to all the great work we're going to accomplish together. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Ella.
Thanks, Laura. Hey, everybody. I'm Ella. I'm a new grad physical therapist, and I serve on the student steering group as the advocacy liaison. So the first thing that you need to do to be able to send your letter is just go to the APTA Patient Action Center, and then here you're going to find the SAFE Act, and it's going to auto-populate a letter that you can send to your legislators. You just put in your name and address, and it's going to identify who your representatives and senators are, and it's really, truly that easy. Another thing that you can do is post on your social media about the SAFE Act, and you can tag your legislators so that they can see that you're actively involved in bringing attention to these actions. There's also tweets that you can find that are pre-written for you through the Patient Action Center. And then just to reiterate what Laura said, make sure you're uploading your action through the the Student Advocacy Challenge so that you're getting your points and that you're helping your program. So for me, I know that being an advocate as a student was really important. I felt like from the beginning of my career as a physical therapist, I was able to not only understand the legislation that was going to affect myself and my patients, but I also got to be a part of helping push that legislation forward.
All right, folks. Hi, and good evening. My name's Steve Klein, and I'm one of the lobbyists here at the APTA. And again, thank you all for joining us tonight. You just heard my colleague Laura talk about the focus of this Flash Action Strategy, which is going to be the SAFE Act. And I'll just tell you a little bit about that. Well, the SAFE Act, that stands for the Stopping Addiction and Falls for the Elderly Act. And in the House of Representatives, that bill number is HR 1171, and in the Senate, it's S 2612. And what this bill does is this really helps to expand access to falls screening prevention services in the Medicare program. And here's how it works. So when you are a senior and you're newly enrolled into Medicare and you report having a fall, then the primary care doctor may refer you to a licensed PT who can do kind of a falls risk assessment plan or falls prevention plan for you to help prevent falls. And the reason that is so very, very important is because for a lot of folks that are 65 and over, if you have a fall, you're looking at injuries that are very serious and very expensive and very costly to treat. So what this bill can do is we want to use PT to prevent those injuries from even happening in the first place. Now, my colleague Matt and I, we're going to be up on Capitol Hill for every day for the rest of the week, telling members of Congress, again, why this bill is so important for the healthcare system, for patients, and for providers. But as Ella just mentioned, you can help too. And one of my favorite tools is the Legislative Action Center. Great tool. You can go right there. We got a pre-written message for you that goes directly to your member of Congress and ask them to please co-sponsor this really important bill. And that's important because your members really, really do need to hear from you. And to be frank, the more messages that we can send to Capitol Hill on a bill, then the more supporters we get. And then the more supporters we have, then the greater the chance we have of getting this bill signed into law. So we greatly appreciate all of your help. And I know that your patients will very much appreciate it too. So again, we really appreciate all your help on this. So, and then let me turn to Ava.
Hi, everyone. Hi, my name is Eva Norman. I'm actually a physical therapist. Actually, it's also a small business owner of a health and wellness company in Minnesota and Florida. And honestly, as an individual that works with a lot of fall prevention, I'm just really, truly not only honored to be here tonight, but excited about this legislation. Honestly, it's something that I've honestly dreamed about seeing for quite some time. So as Steve just so eloquently shared, there's different ways that they can now identify us so quickly through that initial preventative physical exam now, which as soon as that they enroll, they can participate in. Now it will be required for that provider to not only ask them about a fall, but if they do, if say that the patient does report a fall, that they have to refer to us. So now we'll be able to do that comprehensive fall risk assessment that, of course, we've always dreamed of having every Medicare beneficiary go through. And it's just truly that simple. And then on an annual basis, through that Medicare annual Medicare visit, also, that'll be another great opportunity. And I want to kind of share a real life example. I actually went on a visit with a patient recently, had spinal surgery about a couple months ago, still continues with some pain, but wanted me to go because we were discussing a lot of different things with actually trying to get rid of medications. As a matter of fact, we were trying to get rid of his opioids because he had been on them. And I wanted to discuss the issues regarding the opioids. And the sad reality is we actually had to wheel him in because from the door of the clinic to the actual where he was meeting with a physician was quite a long ways. So he's in a wheelchair. We come in and unfortunately, as we all know, physicians really don't have a whole lot of time to spend with patients. We were probably in there not even 8 minutes. Never asked him to move. Honestly, asked him how he was doing. He mentioned his pain. First thing he wants to do is renew his opioids. Oh my gosh, never even asked him to move, never even asked about his therapy. So it was, of course, very frustrating, but it was really good for me to see that today that is happening. And now with this legislation, he is going to be required to ask him if he's had a fall, which he had, which honestly led to all of this, led to the surgery, and continue referral therapy, which, obviously will be wonderful. But this is honestly an unfortunate reality we see across this country talking to colleagues. So, and as, like I said, someone that's very, obviously been doing fall prevention, not only do I understand how devastating that is, but it can be prevented. And this is legislation that is more proactive instead of reactive. So, and we all can get behind that. So I hope I urge you all to get involved. So how can you guys get involved? You're probably wondering, okay, how a busy professional like me gets involved. So there's several different ways, but probably an easy way for all of you is to join the advocacy network. It takes less than 30 seconds. You know what? I'm going to click my send right now. I just sent my letter. It takes less than 30 seconds. Honestly, it takes you long. The time that it takes, why it takes so long is to actually log into your APTA. So once you get locked in, it's seconds to send that letter. So join me tonight by being a part of the advocacy network and join the voices. Sadly, there's only 12% of us across this country that are part of this network. So let's increase those numbers tonight and get those letters out. Our goal is, what is it, Laura? 5,000, right? Letters that we're trying to get out in the next few days. So
5,000 letters. We can do it.
And you know what? And for future, put a calendar alert every Friday. I literally send letters every Friday. It's a calendar alert there at the end of the day every Friday. It's as easy as that. It's a great way to educate members of Congress on what we're doing. So I'm going to end with this. Learn, educate, advocate. Physical therapy and our patients are counting on you. So hopefully, students, you'll join me tonight in advocating. Have a good night.
Thanks for that, Eva. So I'm Matthew, student physical therapist from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, and I'm currently interning with the Government Affairs Unit here in Alexandria for the next 6 weeks. So I just want to say thank you, especially to the students for logging onto this call, student to student. I know sometimes there's 1,000 things going on, so thanks for taking initiative for such an important issue, guys. Steve and Eva and the rest of the team did a great job talking about the SAFE Act, but I just want to hammer down that falls are absolutely devastating, not just for healthcare expenditure, but also ultimately they can reduce the remaining life expectancy for our elderly patients. One stat I came across showed that those who suffered a severe fracture related to a fall, their mortality can increase around 25% within 1 year. All right. So this is a serious problem, and these patients should be seeing the musculoskeletal expert, which is the physical therapist for falls. And that's us, or students that's soon to be us, right? So we need to push this issue. I'm going to kind of talk about the points that Laura and Ella discussed. Here's my plan for the next 2 days. So I'm going to go onto that Flash Action Strategy page and log onto the Patient Action Center, and I see a comment where is the link to send the letters. Patient Action Center, click on the SAFE Act. There's a pre-written letter there. You can type in your information, and that will automatically send it to members of Congress associated with your district. If you have the time, writing a few sentences in the extra box to tell a story, that really goes a long way here in DC. Okay, click send, you're done there. Then you can go on the main Flash Action page, go to the pre-made graphics. You can take that, post that on your social media. You can utilize the hashtag PT advocacy, and you're done there. So that's all you need to do within a few minutes. Two important things after the fact. If you are participating in the Student Advocacy Challenge, which I highly encourage your program to do, you want to submit proof to get your points, so you can take a screenshot of your post, of your letter, and submit that. And make sure you indicate it is for Flash Action Strategy for 10 points. And you're able to submit double. So for a post, for a letter, that's no problem. All right. And then most importantly, grab 2 or 3 classmates, tell them to do the same thing. If you're a point person, you might already have a plan. If you don't, I think what I would do is take that student presentation and put those 4 QR codes up and let that guide people to participate over the next few days. Okay. Lastly, as students, just feel empowered to use your voice. It's valued. You know, Congress hears from PTs, Congress hears from the APTA, PTAs, but students bring a fresh perspective. They are looking into the profession. They're voice of a whole next generation, right? So You can bet if we see this problem as students before really even getting into our careers, uh, PT practicing for 20, 30 years has definitely come across this, and it's a problem, right? And also use it as a learning experience. At some point in our careers, we're going to encounter that patient where advocating just as much as clinical skills is going to make a difference. Learning how to effectively go to bat for that patient, navigating the system, using the APTA when you need to, can make all the difference in the world for a patient. So with that being said, let's blow up those congressional inboxes, 5,000 letters, and feel free to reach out to us. I think Laura is the main contact. If you have any questions over the next few days, anything at all, reach out to us. All right. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, before we close, we have about 5 minutes left. I just have a couple questions for everyone. Steve, you're one of our APTA lobbyists. What does it mean to have the constituent voice in your work, and why is it so important?
Well, I would say two things to that. I mean, one, it's a very important because members of Congress need to hear from people who can vote for them. Now, certainly, most members of I can't vote for every member of Congress, of course. I can only vote for my one, but you all can vote for yours, and they need to hear from their constituents, from people that can vote for them. The second thing I would say is, every other healthcare provider, group, and association that's advocating, they're speaking on behalf of their interest, and no one else is speaking for APTA except for us. So it is so important that we speak up for ourselves. So, and again, as we've all said, we've got some tools where it's so easy to do. So, please help us do that, and we do greatly appreciate your help.
Absolutely. And I have a question for both Ella and Matt. How did you both get into your advocacy work as students? And Ella, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I got to be on the Mississippi board the summer that we finally passed direct access. And so hearing from everybody who had been on the board for years and about how that came to be, how it was just persistence and just keeping everybody involved and everybody informed across the state. And then to hear how they were spreading that this was going to be such a good thing for our state. I got to see how all of the years of hard work, just little things where they slowly took their time but kept pushing forward, was going to be so fruitful for our state. And so then getting to apply that to national advocacy efforts as a student and then getting involved on the student board has been so wonderful, and it's just been such a great thing to be a part of.
Great. Matt?
Yeah, my first experience that really got me into advocacy was at the Wisconsin state level. We held a Wisconsin Legislative Day in Madison, the capital, with APTA Wisconsin. And that was my first exposure to really seeing some of the issues and how they directly impact patient care, clinicians, really clinical outcomes. So that really motivated me to get involved. And then I ended up participating in Flash Action Strategy last year, which kept that going. So, yeah.
Great. And Eva, you're a busy professional. You do a lot of work in your community and see patients all the time. How do you find time in your busy life to advocate?
Thank you, Laura. That's a great question. And so, I kind of honestly now make it a part of my session. I sometimes, it might be stretching or just downtime. A lot of times they want to know, especially when I go to Washington, I like to tell a story we post on social media and patients are watching, they want to know, what are you up to? So I take time sometimes during that downtime to educate, hand them over that patient action center and say, hey, you can help my efforts by sending your letter in. And I do the same with my staff. In all staff meetings every month, we actually share updates with our staff. So, I kind of just make it a part of my life, to be honest, a part of my work life, and then of course my patient life. So yeah. And then of course it's easy peasy to send those letters every Friday. It takes less than 30 seconds. Boom, off it goes. So yeah.
Great, thank you. Yes, we do try to make it as easy as possible. We have a pre-written letter up on the Patient Action Center for Flash Action Strategy. We highly encourage you to customize it, tell your story, what would this bill mean to you? Those personal stories really help us move the needle and help make the issues come alive for the staffers that are reading them. And staffers on Capitol Hill really are reading them. And that's why we are having this collective action take place over the next 2 days on the 17th and 18th, because Congress is in session. Their attention is on their constituents and their work. And that's the best time for us to take action collectively. So now we're about to wrap up. So Matt, would you remind everybody what we're doing and what is our goal again? And thank you for joining us, everyone.
We are going to hit 5,000 letters in congressional inboxes, 5,000 letters. All right. So log onto that Patient Action Center and submit a pre-written letter right away tomorrow morning.
Great. Thank you, everybody. We look forward to all of your great actions over the next couple of days. Thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.